Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. All right, let's do this. Hey guys, what's going on? Good afternoon to people in the Midwest. Good afternoon to people on the East Coast, and good morning to people on the West Coast, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everyone else around the world. How's it going, guys? This is hashtag TNT JoeFi. That stands for tech news that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, Jerome Ortega. This is episode number something because I lost count, and this is day number something in quarantine because I lost count as well. How's it going, guys? It's a nice warm day here in Chicago, kind of overcast, might rain a little bit later, but so far so good. You know, same old. Just another day, just trying to get through it, and hopefully things start to come back to normal. They're actually starting to relax rules here in Chicago starting tomorrow. I think they're going to allow restaurants to have outdoor seating or outdoor dining as long as tables are like 6 feet apart. Well, not tomorrow, like Chicago's suburbs, but the city of Chicago isn't going to do that until June 10th, I think. Anyway, yeah. Hey, hi everybody. What's going on? What's going on, Brian? What up, everyone? What's up, Brian? What's going on, man? How you doing? Nice to see you. All right. It is a slow news day today, so we can talk about a number of things. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, but I do have a couple stories that I'll probably go through. I don't really have a lot in store for today. I will say, though, if you look behind me, that is, I'm trying to point at it properly. Right behind me is the Galaxy A71. It just literally, Grant says, I see something there. What's going on, Grant? How you doing, man? Good afternoon. Nice to see you. So here's the thing is I do have, it literally just came in right before I started the stream. I looked out and it was sitting right in front of the door. So I went ahead and I grabbed it. I have not opened it. And I was telling myself that I should probably wait to open it until I get at least my first camera review out with my TCL 10 Pro. Now, I don't know if I should or not, because I just don't want to rush into opening this phone and then still like trying to get these other camera comparisons out. But I also have another video to do on my other channel today that I have to finish. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get 2 videos done today because I'm also breaking my fast today. And when I break my fast, after I finish eating, I'm just done doing anything. But yeah, I'll think about it. We'll talk about it. But yeah, so A71 came quick from Amazon. But on top of that, I have something else to talk about because yesterday we were talking about the A71 and we were I see a super chat here from Levin Williams. Good afternoon, everyone. Levin, what's going on, man? Good afternoon. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the $2. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the continued support. Yes, wow. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing well, Levin. Again, thank you so much. You've been pretty consistent now with the super chats. You're like Brian. Levin, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Deepak Murthy, what's up, Jerome? What's up, Deepak? Did you miss yesterday? Not that you have to be here, but I don't think I saw you yesterday. Anyway, welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you. Okay, let me make sure I'm not missing everyone or missing anyone else. Paul's in here as well. Hi. Hi. With a bunch of H's. Hey, Paul, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Y2019. Hi, everyone. Hey, Y. How's it going, man? Welcome. Team Varai. Sup, Jerome? What's up, Team Varai? What's going on, man? Nice to see you. All right, guys, let me fill you guys in if you just came in. Right behind me is the A71, the Galaxy A71. I got that from Samsung. Well, it's made by Samsung. I didn't get it from Samsung, but I talked about this yesterday. I got this phone yesterday for 300, or I ordered it the other day. It came in quick. I ordered this phone for $365. This phone has a Snapdragon 730 chipset, the same chipset that you're going to find in the Pixel 4a. It comes with 128 gigs of internal storage, 6 gigs of RAM, expandable storage for micro SD, has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and I have not unboxed it. I was thinking about unboxing it today live, but I might wait until tomorrow because I still have a camera comparison that I have to finish putting out, and I don't want to force myself. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking about it. So anyway, Grant says, be right back. Work calls. Do your thing, Grant. I appreciate you just stopping by. Deepak says, I had a terrible headache yesterday and went to sleep. No worries, man. I appreciate you stopping in and, joining the stream. So thank you. But, yeah, I'll give you my thoughts on the A71. I don't know if I'm going to open it today. If I do open it, though, I'll promise you guys this. When I unbox it, I'll unbox it live and I'll kind of give you my first impressions, and we'll kind of, I'll look at my TCL 10 Pro and we'll, kind of compare and contrast. But so I don't have a lot of stories today, but I do want to talk about something. And it was actually something that Paul sent me yesterday. So if you guys, this was on my thumbnail, and Paul tweeted this to me yesterday. And so this is a breakdown. I was talking about this, and I always get confused about what's coming out because of BBK Electronics. And I was like, I need some kind of family tree that explains how all of this works. And Paul was kind enough to send this to me yesterday. And it was actually really interesting because this is a breakdown of BBK. So, and I'm assuming these are the big 4 brands out of BBK, which is Oppo, Xiaomi, OnePlus, and then Vivo. And then Xiaomi has, sub brands underneath it, Redmi, and then Poco. Oppo has Realme, Vivo has IQOO, and then Huawei is its own thing. Does Huawei not branch off of BBK? But anyway, a sub brand of Huawei is Honor. And so Deepak is saying, wait, Xiaomi is not under BBK. I didn't know that. Well, thank you. So you're telling me Xiaomi, Redmi, and Poco are not BBK? Is that what you're saying, Deepak? Let me know. Guys, clarify for me. So, because I have something that's going to trail into this. There's a reason I brought this up here. Team Verizon says, I think Huawei is different from BBK. Okay, well, good. I'm glad you guys are sharing this with me. So Paul is saying standalone. So Huawei is a standalone. Is that what you're saying? These are two different brands here. Anyway, we'll talk about it. There's a reason I brought this up, because I want to talk about something today. And so Team Verizon is saying, so far I know that Oppo, Realme, and OnePlus are related. So Oppo, Realme, OnePlus, these three here. But you're saying this branch here, Xiaomi, Redmi, Poco, no. Is that what you guys are saying? What about Vivo? What about IQO? Okay, BBK is Vivo, Oppo, and OnePlus. Vivo, Oppo, OnePlus, Realme. So IQOO also. Huawei and Xiaomi are separate then? Is that the consensus here? Anyway, we'll clarify that. So the reason I want to bring this up is okay, Paul saying yeah, Huawei is standalone. Well, thank you for sharing that. So here's the reason I'm bringing this up. Yesterday in the stream, I talked about how I bought this. God damn it! Now I can't. There we go. Yesterday I talked about how I ordered this A71, and the reason I ordered this A71 is because the Pixel 4a is being delayed, and if I'm not going to get a Snapdragon 730 chipset, and I'm not going to get 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage for $350, I said, well, why don't I try this A71 for $365 and see how it fares? I mean, it has a nice display. It has quad cameras in the rear. And at $365, that's not a bad price at all. Now, at that price point, and I'll show you guys here what I, on Amazon where I ordered it. So 365, right? For this A71, it can work in the US and it comes with 128 gigs of internal storage, and it seems pretty packed for the price, right? And it's pretty good. After taxes or whatever, I paid $390. Not bad at all. And what I ended up saying in the stream was like, well, what other phones like these other Chinese brands that really aren't readily available here in the States, what else can you guys find? And so some of you guys had given me recommendations. And what ended up happening is I started doing some homework yesterday. I want to talk to you guys about this because I want to ask you guys what you think about this. So yesterday I found this. This is a Xiaomi Mi 9T. Who has owned a Xiaomi Mi 9T here? Anybody? If I remember correctly, this is just another name for the Redmi K20, not the K20 Pro, because that comes with an 800 chipset. But this is a Xiaomi Mi 9T with a front-facing, or not a front-facing pop-up selfie camera, whatever, a pop-up selfie camera. And this has a Snapdragon 730 in it. This is the same chipset that's going to come with the Pixel 4a. This has 128 gigs of internal storage. This has 6 gigs of RAM. This is $315. If you want the 64 gig version of this, I think it's $265. Why did you? None of you guys recommended this one to me. And I'm looking at this, and this is cheaper than the Galaxy A71 that I have behind me. Okay, so Deepak is saying, I've owned a Mi 9T. It is the K20 made for Western markets. Okay. So here's where Team Varai says Chinese phones mostly have good specs, and I say this with a big ass but, the heavily skinned UI and firmware kind of watered down the experience for me. And I hear you on that, Team Varai. I totally hear you on that. And here's where I have a question. So yesterday I ended up going to XDA, right? XDA developers is where you can find a lot of the modding and the ROMing and whatever. And people are running the Pixel experience on this Xiaomi Mi 9T, and they're running it fine. Everything seems to work fine on it. And I'm thinking about picking this up and just getting rid of this A71 and getting this Mi 9T instead, and throwing on the Pixel launcher or the Pixel experience ROM or whatever on it. I just want to know what some of your guys' thoughts are on it, if you guys have messed with it at all. So let me just scroll up and just make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay, Deepak says Xiaomi's another big Chinese conglomerate. Paul says sorry for the fake news. You're good, Paul. No worries, man. I'm glad you share that, because there's still a ton of info that I need to retain and trying to understand how a lot of that is. So Team Verizon says, I do own a Redmi 8A and I appreciate it for the cheap price and the 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Yeah, this Xiaomi Mi 9T has 4,000 milliamp hours. But what's interesting to me is the fact that people are ROMing it right now with the Pixel launcher experience. Brian says here, the build is worlds better than the 3A. Are you talking about Xiaomi? The 7 series processor and the non-stock Android are and only average camera kills it for you. Right. But like I said, if I'm able to ROM it and throw stock Android on it that way, I think that would make me happy. But we'll see. I'll have to think about it. The only Chinese brand really with an awesome software is OnePlus with its Oxygen OS. And I agree, and Brian agrees too, Deepak, and that's where I need to sit and think about, should I buy this phone and try to ROM it and try to put a completely stock Android experience on there and test out the Snapdragon 730. I don't know. I might pull the trigger. The nice thing about the nice thing about Amazon is I could order it, I could return it, and it's all going on my credit card right now. So like it's not getting straight out on my bank account. It's not, it's not, obviously it's not like the most respectful way of doing it, but I'm also on a budget and I'm trying to see what I can get for my money. And at this price at $315, it might not be bad. I mean, I was thinking about getting the 64 gig internal storage version for $265, which is under $300 at that point. So Deepak is saying here, I sold the Mi 9T because cameras were not so good. Damn, and you tried Gcam variations? I would love to test it out myself. I wonder how far or how well this camera fares. But I mean, regardless of the cameras, I think if I can clean it with stock Android, it might be a pretty good experience for the price with meh cameras. I mean, I don't doubt you at all, Deepak. The cameras probably are not they're probably not as good either, but I would love to test it out just to see. Brian says Mi 9T fun and then sends $1 super chat. Maybe, man, maybe. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for the $1 super chat. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you for being a however many days in a row of super chats you've sent for support. I do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you. Thank you. Team Verizon says, interestingly, my Redmi A uses the same Sony IMX sensor on the Pixel 3a. Sadly, I can't find a working Gcam port. That's interesting. Is there just no support for it? Because if you look at XDA, there is so much support right now for the Mi 9T. I mean, there are daily builds for it. For this phone, and I'm seriously considering picking it up. So but can you build a ROM yourself? I can't build a ROM myself. That's I worked in IT for over a decade, but so the software part of it is not my scope. I worked in networking and I worked in hardware for a long time. Software is not my thing. I know a bit when it comes to software and I can work my way around a PC. And I'm pretty good with some of the basics when it comes to software, but no, I can't build my own ROM. That's way out of my scope there. Deepak says for around $300 or $350 buy a refurbished Pixel 3, you get a superb photo experience. I mean, that's fair enough, but I don't know. There's something about me wanting to try something in ROM. We'll see. I know. I might, you know what it is? It's because I have never tried it before and it has a selfie. It has a selfie camera in the front. And I guess these are things I've never used before. And so part of me feels excited to use it, but I will think it over. I do appreciate the comments and I do appreciate going through it. So I'll think it over. Deepak says Xiaomi phones have a very good battery life. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that as well. But yeah, again, I do have the A71. So like, tomorrow I'm gonna unbox it for sure, regardless whether or not I put my camera comparison out. Hopefully I'll have time to do it, but yeah, I'll see. So anyway, guys, that's what it is. That's where I'm at right now. I have the TCL 10 Pro. I have the A71. I am working on a camera comparison for the TCL 10 Pro and my Pixel 4. I want to do a camera comparison with the iPhone 11 Pro as well, and then bust out the A71, compare that to the TCL 10 Pro, and then do a bunch of other camera comparisons. But we'll see. We'll see. So, okay. I do have a couple stories. I don't have a ton, but we can talk about whatever else as well, and then just kind of go from it. Go. We're gonna kind of wing it today, guys, because there isn't a ton of stuff to talk about today. If there is something you do want to talk about, mention it in the chat and we can share it there. So the first story I have here is about the LG Velvet. So we've talked about the LG Velvet before. We've talked about how, it got rumored at first, and then it got released right away in Korea. And then the price on it, though, starts at $700, a little over $700. And it comes with a Snapdragon 765 chipset, which is a mid-range chipset, which is what is going to be reportedly going to get thrown on the Pixel 5, the Motorola Razr 2, and then a bunch of other phones. They're gonna throw on this Snapdragon 765. The LG Velvet, though, at that price point, seems like it's way too much. And now there's word that it's coming to the States, or headed west and Europe, expected in June. So the LG Velvet, the company's latest attempt at resurrecting its dwindling smartphone business, could soon step out of its home market and head westwards. The phone was announced just a few weeks back, but at the time, LG didn't reveal any launch information for markets outside of South Korea. So maybe it's not the US. Okay. Now the 5G Snap 765 phone has been listed on LG's Italian website. The listing doesn't give out the phone's European price, but its specs page show availability in June 2020. Okay, so maybe not the States. I thought it was coming to the States. Maybe not. It looks like all the original Velvet colorways will be available in Europe, including Illusion Sunset, Aurora White, Aurora Gray, and Aurora Green. That's a lot of Auroras. If you guys haven't seen the colors on the LG Velvet, they look amazing. I think they look really nice. We also checked LG's other European websites in Spain, France, and a few other countries, but couldn't find a listing for the LG Velvet. Perhaps LG Italy jumped the gun and added the phone to its roster earlier than it was supposed to. Meanwhile, a Korean outlet reported the Velvet will also be released in the US very soon. Okay, so there you go. Maybe not June, but maybe later in the summer. The report doesn't mention a specific launch date for North America, but if it's coming to Europe in June, the US launch can't be far behind. Just like the flagship LG V60, the availability of the Velvet could also be restricted to the US and Europe in the West, skipping out on the UK completely. An LG representative told Android Authority global versions of the Velvet were delayed by 2 to 3 weeks. We aren't sure if the reasoning for the delay, but we do know a global variant is coming soon. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Velvet just to see how it fares, how the UI is, how the cameras are on it, the performance on that 765, just so we can get a glimpse of how it's going to be on the Pixel 5. But at a $700 price point, it seems overpriced. Like, it might look really nice and shiny, and it might look premium, but if it's going to have a slower processor under the hood, it just doesn't seem like it's worth that price at all, especially when you think about the iPhone SE pricing at $400 that has such a superior chipset in it. I mean, how good is this camera going to be on this LG Velvet? Is it even going to be better than the camera on the iPhone SE? I hope it will. $700 is a lot for a phone. Maybe that price is going to drop sooner rather than later, because they know that people probably aren't going to buy it for that price point. But maybe it'll drop to 600, maybe it'll drop to 500, maybe we'll be surprised and it'll drop in the US, or maybe it'll launch in the US for a much cheaper price point. But I mean, it's nice to know that it is coming here to the States. I'm just leery about what price it's going to come at. So I don't know. Yeah, Deepak Murthy says 700 is not at all cheap for a not flagship phone. Very true. It's nice to see the Velvet come out, and it's nice to see the looks of it. I think it looks really nice. It's way too expensive. Brian says for $700, just buy the OnePlus 8. Yeah, Exactly. Why wouldn't you buy the OnePlus 8 at that price point then? Why would you stick to a Snapdragon 765 because it has these other special colors? Like if I remember correctly, the OnePlus 8 has a similar color to this like sunset color or whatever, or the interstellar glow. Is that what they called it? Whatever it is. But yeah, that's a great point, Brian. You make a good point here. Edward Pia. Edward Pia, am I saying that right? Hey, Edward, welcome to the stream, man. I don't think I've seen you here before. OnePlus 8 series shares the same panel with the Fine series from Oppo. Seems like the green tint issue is more obvious on the OnePlus. Do you think they can solve it? Hardware or software issue? That I don't know for sure. Let me reread this. Shares the same panel with the Fine series from Oppo. Seems like the green tint issue is more obvious on the OnePlus. Do you think they can solve it? You know what, Edward? I don't know much about what's going on with that green tint issue because I don't own a OnePlus. I will tell you that I had a green tint issue on my Pixel 3. I don't know if it's for the same reason. So the Pixel 3 I had all of a sudden just turned green. Like it was an awful green. And that was an issue that a number of people had actually. And that was actually corrected by a software fix, which it kind of blew my mind that it was able to get fixed that way. So I don't know if that is a software issue. And I don't know if other people in the chat are going to be able to help you out with that. But I don't, are you experiencing it? Do you have a OnePlus 8? Do you have that green tint issue? Let us know. Cause I'm curious. I don't know much about it. I just know when that first came out, I was like, God, it's just weird to see that it got such high marks for its display and then it had that issue. But, people also told me in the stream that some of them ordered it as well. Hackney Man, I think, ordered it. And, he ended up returning it because it had those issues and it had black crush issues on the display as well. So yeah, I don't know. Just let us know. Let us know what you think. I see Android Stud in here as well. It's a big world. What's going on, Leo? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice you can make it. But yeah, other than that, that's really all I had on the Velvet. I do want to move on though, and I want to talk about, again, I don't have a ton of stories today, guys, so we can talk and chat. We can have a discussion. I would love to talk about the A71 that I have here, but I want to save that maybe for tomorrow and talk about it then. But we'll see how time goes. I mean, we're already almost halfway in here. I do have an article about the Poco F2 though. And I want to talk about that because it's actually more of not a full review, but GSM Arena got their hands on it. And I kind of want to talk about the Poco F2 Pro. I want to talk about its price point, and I want to talk about if it's worth the price point. So let's get into it. This article from GSM Arena says the hugely anticipated second coming of the Poco phone is finally here at HQ, and we've started work on its review. There's a lot to go over with the F2 Pro, but here's a brief hands-on and key features video to get you started. So opening the box, it comes with a 30-watt charger, a USB cable, and a complimentary case. The Poco F1, which I know Android Stud had this, and I know he talked about it for a bit on his channel, was Xiaomi's first go at a flagship with a mid-range price, and it was unbelievable value at the time. If I'm not mistaken, that phone had a Snapdragon 800 series and a $300 price point. Like, it was priced super cheap with an 800 series chipset. This time around, the Poco F2 Pro has a $500 price point on it. So it is a bit more expensive than its predecessor, but compared to its competition right now that has other Snapdragon 865 chipsets, it's the lowest that you could find it at. So we expected a Snap 855 or an 855 Plus powered Poco F2 to arrive in 2019, but Xiaomi had their hands full with the Redmi K20 Pro and its Mi 9T Pro doppelganger. So here we are in 2020. Poco's sabbatical is over and the Poco F2 Pro is poised to top any list of affordable flagship grade phones around. So the formula is very much the same as it was 2 years ago. Put in the fastest chipset, so the 865, cram in as many flagship worthy specs, a good design, and slap a reasonable price on it. In this case, €500. if you pick a 6 or 128 or 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gig internal storage model, and then 100 more euro for an 8 gig, 256 gig version. So what's 500 euro in the States? Is that like $600 or so? And then because 600 bucks, that wasn't the introductory price though for the Poco F2 Pro in the States. I think it was cheaper than that. And then the $600 or the 600 euro price point for 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage is, well, then you're talking 1+8 territory, right? In the $700 price point, if it's 600 euro, I think. I'm not really good at these conversions, guys. So if any of you guys want to help me out, please feel free. The Poco F2 Pro is actually a rebadged Redmi K30 Pro, but seeing how only China gets the K series phone, that hardly matters for most. The phone is built around a 6.67-inch Super AMOLED screen and has a motorized pop-up 20 megapixel selfie camera. On the back, you get a 64 megapixel main camera, while inside, and it has a 4,700 milliamp hour battery that supports 30-watt charging. So really big battery, really fast wire charging, pretty high-end specs, but still the cheapest price that you can find for a Snap 865, but it's creeping up there in price. It's still getting close to OnePlus's territory. The affordable flagships also share the same styling. Our Poco F2 Pro is the cyber gray model, and it looks nice and premium. We'd recommend using it with a supplied case, as it's a very slippery phone. The Poco F2 Pro unsurprisingly runs smooth thanks to a combination of a Snap 865 chipset, UFS 3.1 storage, and MIUI, is that how you pronounce it? MIUI 11. But we can't help but lament the lack of any sort of high refresh rate on the screen. A 90 hertz panel would have made this device all the more tempting, but then again, it would have pushed the price even higher. So no 90 hertz refresh rate. You're going to get 60 hertz, which is really fine by me. It's not a deal breaker at all for me. The Poco F2 Pro looks promising. We expect good results from the camera. Its 5 megapixel macro is especially interesting. More on that in the review. Great battery life and solid display scores. Stay tuned for our full review. So yeah, let's think about that. A Poco F2 Pro, $600, 600-ish bucks, right? Probably after taxes, you're talking close to 650. And I mean, at that price point, there's for $100 more, you can get the OnePlus 8, right? For $700. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. Just making sure I'm thinking about my prices right. And I don't know what's going to have the better camera on one of them, but right now the Poco F2 Pro is the cheapest 865 chipset that you can find, I think, or that would be available to use in the States. I don't know if any of these other phones in China, like the Redmi or the Realme or the Oppo or the Vivo or the Xiaomi or whatever else I'm missing with an 865 chipset, can be had in the States and can be used in the States. Maybe they can, and maybe at a cheaper price point, but I don't think I've found that yet, or at least I haven't looked yet. The opportunities might be there. I don't know. I would love to get my hands on a Poco F2 phone. I don't know if I would pay $600 for it though. If I remember correctly, when I first talked about this phone, they were priced at $500. So I don't know if you're not able to get it at that price anymore, or if it's increased since then, if it was just an introductory price. But at $600, I feel like now you're pushing it. But it's still an 865 Snapdragon or a Snap 865 chipset. And yeah, I don't know. I'm in my head, I'm trying to internalize if I would spend that money on it, but here I am talking about $300 phones, so probably not. Okay, let me go back into chat here. Let's see. Brian says, I'm tired of all these variants. Just make one model that works everywhere. I would love to see that. I don't know. Maybe what they're trying to do, Brian, is they're trying to make a bunch of sub brands so that, you know what it could be? It could be companies trying to like throw shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, right? And so if 1 out of 10 companies that they make has a following, then they know that they can continue on with it. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. Deepak says MKBHD made an enthusiastic video on the Poco F2 Pro. That's good. I think I caught a glimpse of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing. Edward says, MIUI 12 on the F2 Pro is going to be lit. Very smooth animation. Higher refresh rate will make it a flagship killer. That's good to know. I've never used MIUI 12. I would welcome trying something new just to see how it works. But because I'm a very stock Android person, it's very hard for me to switch. That's why I'm always looking to mod stuff. But that's good to know. It's also good to know that the animation is good. Is there anything that compares to it? Like, is it better for you guys that have used MIUI? Is it better than Samsung's One UI? I'm just curious because I've used a Pixel 4 now for a while, and I haven't had anything else since getting this TCL 10 Pro. That's the only other Android phone I have. I mean, I have a OnePlus 6T, but I haven't used that in a minute. Otherwise, yeah, I'm just so used to stock Android at this point. Brian says here, yeah, except for the camera, it's mad to him, and it's not OnePlus fast to him either. Paul saying 540-ish. Okay, good to know. Okay, so I was way off. I thought 500 euro was 600 bucks. So no. Okay, around $550. Thank you guys. Thank you. Max Tech Studios says, hey, Jerome, just finished a video about how you can get the iPhone SE for 99 bucks. Oh, that's awesome, man. I remember there was a deal for that before. What carrier was that? Was it? Oh, it was Visible. I know on Visible you were able to get it for $100, and I wonder if things have changed then. Jerome would like to do a tech collab sometime. With who? Are you asking me? You want to do a tech collab together? If any of you guys ever want to talk or have a chat or whatever too, like feel free to message me. Let me know. Recently, or was it 2 Fridays ago? Me and Leo, we had a conversation. I had Leo on the show, and we talked, and it was fun. And I'd love to talk to some of you guys. So feel free. If any of you guys want to do something together, let me know. We could always talk. Paul says on GearBest that F2 Pro is $530. Oh, okay. US, is that? I wonder if that's free shipping. I'm sure you got to pay tax too. So close to $600 still, I'm guessing, right? Maybe. Anyway, thanks. I haven't used GearBest before. Is GearBest where you can usually buy international phones? Because I'm not familiar with GearBest. I've never used it before. Have you guys used it? Is it reliable? Is it safe? These are questions I need to know. So feel free to let me know. Okay, Max is saying Metro by T-Mobile. Thanks, man. I'll have to take a look at it. I'll have to take a look. Oh, you're asking me. You want to do something together? DM me. We could talk. Yeah, Brian saying Team Verizon is a special guest. Deepak, Jerome, do you have a Telegram group? So I do, but the Telegram group I'm in now is I didn't create it. I thought about creating my own Telegram group, but I have a Discord group. But so the way I have it set up now, I might change it. The way I have that Telegram group set up right now, you have to be a $5 a month member. And I haven't really been using it much, but I would love to get more people in it and start talking about stuff, even if I'm not in there, because there's always a lot to share. And it's also a good way to just share tech stuff and stuff that you bring up that I might read in there. I don't know. I'm thinking about just giving access to anybody who wants to be in that Discord group, or maybe, I don't know. I have to think about it. Otherwise, I use Telegram. I don't have a Telegram group though under my own, but I don't know. Something I got to think about. That's a good point to bring up, though. Grant saying GearBest, AliExpress, Banggood can be hit or miss. eBay seller, never MSRP is pretty reliable. Thank you, Grant. I appreciate that. Grant, I know you stepped away, but I want to ask you because I also truly consider your opinion on it. I don't know if you caught the part where I started talking about the Xiaomi Mi 9T, because I found that phone yesterday after we were talking about other brands. And the Mi 9T has a Snapdragon 730, 128 gigs of internal storage, 6 gigs of RAM, and it's $315 on Amazon. So I thought about buying it. It's right here. And I just wanted to get your opinion on it. Because, I'm just curious. Because, now that I have the A71 and I spent $365 on it, why wouldn't I buy this instead? But Deepak was saying that the camera was so-so, but I do like that selfie pop-up camera, and that's kind of why I want to try it out. Anyway, I thought I'd ask for your opinion on it. So Hopkins says here, you can choose priority line on GearBest and don't have to pay taxes and duties. Really? Okay, good to know. Guys, thank you so much for sharing that this info. This is good to know. Hopkins, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. Nice to see you again. Brian says, heard decent things about Never MSRP. They're pretty reliable. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for sharing that info. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay, let's continue on. Actually, real quick before I do, let me go through this again. Real quick, guys, if you guys haven't already, feel free to like the video. Liking the video helps in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find the stream. It's a good way to get other people to come in here, talk and chat, have a conversation. If you guys are not a subscriber and you're new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe. I stream daily, weekdays, not daily, but on weekdays, Monday through Friday, around 12 to 1 p.m. Central, sometimes a little later, usually a little later. But yeah, feel free to subscribe. We can, you'll see me every day here talking about tech, whatever. Even if there is not enough news, I can always have a conversation, always talk about stuff. Even if no one was in here, I could have a conversation with myself anyway. It's something I've been trying to get good at. So anyway, feel free to subscribe. And last but not least, if you do see people in the chat with green in their name, if you see a red Chicago star next to their name, that is because they are a member of my channel. They get a red Chicago star badge next to their name, and you could have one too for as little as 99 cents a month. That is my little marketing spiel, but it is a good way to support me. And even just at that price, it does help. It helps offset costs for the streaming software I pay for. It helps offset costs for the music licensing that I pay for as well. And you know, you get to use custom emoji. You'll get your name on the intros and outros of every one of my live streams. All you got to do is click that join button to be part of the crew, squad, community, team, whatever you want to call it. If you can't find it, all you got to do is go to youtube.com/PhoneJerome/join. And that's it. As far as doing the marketing thing, I'll leave it there, but I will continue on and we'll get to the next story. And we're going to talk about Qualcomm. Let me check chat though, because I see a couple of things here. Max Tech Studio says, I love hashtag TNT Joe 5. Max Tech, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the support. Grant says, Mi 9T is solid, but feels bulky and heavy. I prefer the A71. God damn, Grant, how many phones do you own? Tell me right now, how many phones do you have? I feel like you buy every phone that comes out, and I'm jealous. I love that you're such a tech head, but every time I see you on Instagram or whatever, it seems like you're taking a picture with whatever new phone comes out. I feel like you buy every phone and there's nothing wrong with it. More power to you, man, especially if you love it. But thank you for your opinion on that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's see here. Levin says, smash that like button. Thank you, Levin. Thank you for the support. Deepak says, the red Mi 9T looks like a superhero edition. Dude, I saw that too, Deepak. But right now, you can only get the red Mi 9T in the 64 gig variant. They don't have it in the 128. But in my head, I'm like, do I need the 64 or do I need the 128 gig? Should I just pay $265 for the red one? I don't know. We'll see. Team Verizon says, having fun listening and reading everyone's reactions and input. Thank you, Verizon. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, let's move on here. Oh, I see. I'm looking at chat. I see Amin Chardosser. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Amine. Let me know how to pronounce it so I say that properly. I'm watching you on my OnePlus 7. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for being part of the stream. Nice to see you in here. I don't think I've seen you chat before, but appreciate you saying what's up. Hopefully that OnePlus 7 is doing well for you. I'm sure it is. OnePlus is usually almost always are. So this article from 9to5Mac talks about Qualcomm announcing a new Wi-Fi 6E chip for smartphones and routers. We're not going to go too deep into this, but Qualcomm has announced its next-gen wireless chips that support the new Wi-Fi 6E standard. The E in Wi-Fi 6E stands for extended and supported devices will be able to operate on the newly opened 6 gigahertz spectrum that should offer less network congestion and faster and more dependable connections. While Wi-Fi 6 supported devices are still in their infancy, the iPhone 11 lineup and 2020 iPad Pro are the only Apple devices with support so far. Actually, Let me ask you guys a question. For any of you that own an iPhone 11 or 11 Pro, has Wi-Fi been weird for you lately? I feel like the I on my iPhone 11 Pro, my Wi-Fi is spotty. It kind of goes in and out sometimes, and even my cell connection isn't the best on it. I feel like my Android does a better job with Wi-Fi and cell connection lately. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm not sure. Anyway, I just thought I'd ask. So, that will allow compatible devices to expand beyond 2.4 and 5 gigahertz frequencies to the 6 gig spectrum. Qualcomm detailed its Wi-Fi 6E enabled chips today for such devices today. The Wi-Fi 6E chips are part of the company's Fast Connect series. As noted by The Verge, since Qualcomm already launched its high-end chips earlier this year, we may not see Wi-Fi 6E support arrive in Android smartphones until late this year or possibly next year. I mean, at the same time, to take advantage of that, you're going to need a router that has that kind of support as well. So you got to buy new hardware, but you also have to buy, a new phone and a new router. If you haven't picked up a Wi-Fi 6 supported router yet, it may be worth waiting for the upcoming Wi-Fi 6E. So yeah, hold on to that. Wait for that as well. Again, it's not the biggest article in the world, but doing you guys a favor. If you're looking for a new wireless router and you want to take advantage of the newest, latest, and greatest, wait for the 6E ones to come out, since this is what's going to be coming up in the future. But I do want to tie into this. This next article is also about Qualcomm. And this article from Tech Radar is talking about Qualcomm and Samsung. Well, it's titled Qualcomm and Samsung Take Note. Another Chinese firm wants to build its own CPUs. And so we've talked about this in the past. Google is looking to make their own chips already, right? Their own chipsets. Apple already makes their own. Samsung has their Exynos versions, right? And so it's nice to see that other companies are starting to want to do this, because I think it's going to get other companies to compete better. I mean, there's MediaTek that's out there, with their Dimensity chipsets. And I know there's a couple other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head, but it looks like Oppo wants to do the same thing. And if we go back to our little chart here, Oppo is part of Realme, which is also part of BBK, which is also part of OnePlus, and Vivo and IQOO. So it looks like Apple wants to get in the game of chipset making, and let's talk about it. So tensions between Beijing and Washington have forced Oppo's hand. Chinese smartphone manufacturer Oppo has announced it will redouble its efforts to develop its own smartphone CPUs. The move is likely driven by the need to reduce its reliance on leading US-based chip maker Qualcomm due to the ever-escalating tensions between Beijing and Washington. If I remember correctly, they're talking about the issues with the chipsets that Huawei was making. So why is Oppo having issues with it? I don't, either way, whatever. You know what? If these manufacturers want to go ahead and they want to make their own silicon, make their own chipsets, compete, have something that's going to like bring the competition up to speed, have other people compete so there's no monopolization on the market, by all means, go ahead and do it. Do it. For China to have all these other brands bringing Snapdragon 800 series chipsets at much lower prices, keep doing it, because it's going to force other manufacturers to lower their prices, to make better devices, to put better shit into our phones. And in the end, it's a win for the consumers. So the company first set out to design its own mobile chips last year, during a period in which the conflict between fellow Chinese firm Huawei and US was making headlines. Oppo has now doubled down on the development project, as shown by an aggressive hiring spree that has seen the firm poach experienced engineers from mobile industry players MediaTek and Unisoc. Unisoc, I've never even heard of those guys. The most high-profile new recruit is Jeffrey Zhu, MediaTek's former co-COO and former Xiaomi executive, who had also previously worked with Oppo as a consultant. By bringing in fresh talent, Oppo aims to reduce its dependence on suppliers based in the US and improve its penetration of overseas markets, where it has been gaining ground of late. Figures from analyst firm IDC suggest the company's European shipments have grown by more than 1,000%, in part due to collaborations with partners including Vodafone, Orange, and Telefonica. According to Oppo, the investment in first-party chips is designed to enhance user experience as well as shore up the company's long-term position. So yeah, I don't want to go too deep into it. Oh, I had the wrong screen up there. But yeah, go ahead. I'm all for these other companies going to, make chips, compete, have something better come out. I mean, why is Qualcomm the only company that should be leading in chipset manufacturing, right? Apple has look at how well Apple does with its in-house. They have the best chipsets in the game. Their performance beats any Android phone bar none. Google now wants to get in the game. Google wants to do it. And hopefully that will help its Pixel lineup have better performing chipsets, have better efficiency when it comes to battery, and maybe can compete with Apple in that regard. And then at the same time, Qualcomm is going to be like, well, shit, nobody's going to buy from us anymore because everyone's making their own. And maybe that will force Qualcomm to lower their prices, up their game, provide a better quality product at a cheaper price. And that isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So, okay, let me scroll back up here. I see a couple more people in here. Levin is saying 128 of 256 gigs or 128 to 256 gigs is great, but I can get by with 64 on my Pixel 4 XL. I mean, to be fair, I have my iPhone 11 Pro and my Pixel 4. They're both 64 gigs, but I have noticed myself running out of storage. I've actually noticed myself having to clear out my Photos app on my iPhone more than I should, but it's also because I take a lot of video now. So that's kind of why I'm just like, well, maybe I should just up it to 128. But yeah, I don't know. I'll let you know what ends up happening if I get that Mi 9T. I'll keep you guys posted. So Amin says, thank you, bro. I'm happy to follow you. Thank you, man. Thank you for being a supporter. I appreciate it. Deepak says, my main daily driver, 11 Pro Max, is a 256 gig. That is a beast right there, Deepak. The phones I test and play are usually 64, rarely 128. Hopkins says, oh, you guys are talking in there. You guys are good. Big House Productions. What's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Nice you can make it. Hey, Jerome. Hello, stream. How's it going, man? Glad you can make it. Big House, I'm just going to fill you in real quick. Look behind me. I got a Samsung Galaxy A71 for $365. I am thinking about getting also a Xiaomi Mi 9T for $315, but I'll fill you in later, or you can watch it in the replay. Anyway, just thought I'd fill you in. What's up, man? Nice to see you, Big House. Team Verizon says, my wife's 11 sometimes disconnects from our Wi-Fi lately. Yeah, what's up with that? Why? I don't know why my iPhone 11 Pro is being weird. Sometimes I'll try to watch something on YouTube and it won't play, and I'll have to turn off Wi-Fi, get it to connect to cellular, and then switch back. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why did that happen? I don't know. I don't remember that being a thing before, but it's weird. I'm not sure. Deepak says, well, I would like to try the Motorola Edge 5G, the Edge Plus or the Edge. The Edge is the cheaper version, right? What chipset does the Edge have? Or is it still also an 800 chipset? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what's on that one. Deepak says, yeah, iPhones never have a solid Wi-Fi connection. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've never really had it bother me, but lately it's been, but you know what? I'm also, so right now, guys, like because of lockdown and everything too, and moving back from LA, I'm staying with my mom. So the Wi-Fi she has, it's not usually the connections I use. I usually have access points set up at my place, and it's set up a little differently here. So maybe it's that, but I don't know. I see Ronaldo in here. What up? What's up, mate? What's up, Ronaldo? How's it going, man? How you doing? Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you on. Team Verizon says, I'm a bit wary of Google making its own chips given their track record with hardware. That's a really good point. I'm also wary of them just in general, but I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic with their Pixel lineup. I'm hoping the Pixel 4a is going to kill it. I'm hoping the Pixel 5 is going to kill it, and then everyone's going to say, "Hey, Google, you guys are doing the right things again. Like, you're on the up and up." But We'll see. We'll see. That is a fair point, and that's something that we can't like, don't hold your breath, right? Because we just don't know how Google is going to end up when it comes out of like the next hardware lineups, whatever. Um, their track record of killing a bunch of software projects hasn't been that great either. So yeah. Ronaldo says, I'm not too late, am I? No, you're not too late. Ronaldo, if you missed it too, I was telling Big House, I'm sure you were in here by then. I did get the A71. Uh, and I just FYI, I'm probably not going to keep it. I'm probably going to return it just like I did the iPhone SE. I'm kind of interested in the Xiaomi Mi 9T just because of the selfie pop-up camera, but also because I checked on XDA and it looks like I could mod it, and I might mod it to put the Pixel experience on it that runs just AOSP, Android open source. Anyway, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. They are the kings in China. They own so much. BBK. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what you're talking about. That Huawei ban gives less choice to consumers. Their Kirin chips are very good. Kirin, that's the other chipset. Yeah, I am not happy with that ban with Huawei. I said this before in past streams, but I think the reason, and I think you might have been in here, Deepak, when I talked about it. I think the reason that they're banning Huawei is because there's probably a bad, sour experience, a business experience, either under Trump or with the US, or the US isn't getting enough money from Huawei, and this is their way of punishing them, because I don't think it's just a privacy issue. If it was a privacy issue, what about all these other Chinese companies, right? I mean, all these other companies are doing very similar things. I don't know the extent to the spying or whatever, but I think a lot of it is bullshit. That's my opinion. I don't really know the schematics behind it. I don't know the inner workings or what they're doing, but I think it's a lot of bullshit. It might be just somebody might be feeding someone else more money so that they keep Huawei out of the game so they can monopolize on it. I'm not trying to say Qualcomm's monopolizing on it, but they very well could be. So I don't know. BBK Electronics. Yeah. So Tajasvi, hopefully I'm saying that right. Tajasvi Kapoor. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you in here before, Tajasvi. But yeah, we actually just talked about this earlier. BBK Electronics does not own Xiaomi. We did discuss this. They don't own Huawei either. And we did talk about who they do own. So it was corrected. We had that earlier in the stream, but thank you for bringing that up. I will announce that to everyone else who was in here as well. So yeah, it is. BBK does own a lot, but these other companies, Xiaomi, they're in its own branch. So Huawei as well. Okay, so let me scroll back up here. So Big House says, what if Pixels ran on MediaTek chips? Would you buy one? I would. I mean, I know that there's questions about the support, but I would test it out just to see. Here's the thing. Google could put a Doritos chip in there and I would probably buy it, because I don't want to say I'm a sucker, but I have been a supporter for Google for a long time. And I know I have been shitting on Google for a while, but it's only because I want to see them do well. And obviously, if they put a Doritos chip in there, I wouldn't buy it. But you know what I'm saying. I would give it a shot and just test out and see if it's worth it. And then I would do a review on it and let you guys know how I feel about it. So I would at least be honest and transparent. Okay, let me scroll down here. Brian says, I hate to admit it, but OnePlus pimp slaps Pixels on optimization. That is a very hard that's very hard to disagree with. OnePlus really, I think if anybody has it down pat when it comes to optimizing a phone, especially in performance, it's OnePlus. And it makes me look forward to the OnePlus Z. I mean, if the OnePlus Z, for you guys too, if the OnePlus Z came with a MediaTek chipset, I would try that out. I think you guys, I'm assuming you guys would test it out too. See how well a Dimensity chipset fares. I mean, knowing OnePlus's track record, I don't think they would let the consumer base down when it comes to performance or optimization in regards to that. Although I could be eating my words and maybe they'll fuck it up, but I don't know. We'll see. So Ronaldo says, Big House has me sold. I might just get a Poco phone or a Mi 9T. There you go, Ronaldo. I really want to try it out. I do, just to see. Deepak says, another beautiful phone is the Oppo Reno 2. I'll have to take a look at that. I thought I just saw an article about that. Is it because they're talking about, are they up to date right now? There's the Oppo Reno 4. Is that the phone that's coming out? There's so many, guys. I just cannot keep up. What did Grant say here? Told you, Jerome, A71 is filled with regret. No, I don't want to say that yet. I gotta test it out. I'm looking forward to messing around with it. I want to see how, really, again, like, and I keep showing it just because I have it. I really want to see how it fares against this TCL Pro 10. I do have to give TCL some props, because even with the Snapdragon 65 chipset, it is not bad. It performs a lot better than I thought it would. And I have to give TCL props for that. Team Verizon says, follow up to my previous comment. If Google handles its chips with the same delicate care as the Pixel 3a, we may see good things, though. Fingers crossed. Yeah. I mean, I've never owned a 3a. What does that have? A 665 chipset? But for most people who have a 3A, I've heard nothing but good things. And most people don't talk about that it lags or it's super slow or anything like that. Most people are pretty happy with the performance, the price. Oh, and I might as well bring up, guys, if you guys are looking for a phone right now, you can get a Pixel 3a. Today is the last day for it. You could get a Pixel 3a for $279. You can get a Pixel, did I say 2A? You could get a Pixel 3a for $279. You could get a Pixel 3a XL for $319 right now. So if you're looking for a phone, and if a $300 price point is your top end budget, that might be probably one of the best buys you can get at the moment, especially if camera's important to you. Because I was just about to say, this Xiaomi Mi 9T is $315 but anyway, maybe the 3A is still a better buy. But the Mi 9T has a better chipset. I don't know. These are things that I have to start thinking in my head. There's so many things to talk about when it comes to prices and deciding what's the best thing. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Just thought I would share that. Deepak says, every company spies on us. If you search out for a product on Amazon, those products pop up on your Facebook timeline. You're not wrong. I mean, that's what I'm saying is, we're also in a weird part of the world right now where if you want to be off the grid. So Mike, Simply Your Device, I haven't seen him in a minute. He's been busy lately. I know he's been busy doing his thing. I miss that guy. But Mike and we talked about that when we were doing an episode of The Standard. And Mike, or was it? Yeah, Mike was saying, today, in today's day and age, if you want to be off the grid, don't own a phone. Don't connect to a cellular network, go buy a flip phone. Because I think you buy a smartphone, you're going to get followed. Google's just getting sued. I read an article, or I saw an article from, I can't remember where. I think they're getting sued by the state of Arizona or something, and sued for some tracking kind of issues. I don't know. I didn't really read into it. I was going to cover it, but it's just, there's so many of those stories right now. And I kind of need a break from it. Theory X84. Hey, Theory, welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you again. I'm glad you could make it. It's all about network infrastructure. Huawei and ZTE are the only Chinese companies that are both infrastructure and consumer. That's probably why they both got banned. That's a good point. Appreciate you bringing that up. That really is a good point. Grant says Moto 1 Hyper has a pop-up cam and newer than the Mi 9T, but it has the 675 and 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage for $300. Yeah, see, that's the thing. For me, I still want the better chipset. And it has less RAM. So I don't know. We'll see how that comes up. I think the way Grant knows, here's the thing is, I know Big House was asking, he was asking if Grant doesn't like the A71. It's not that. Grant, I think, knows how I am, and he knows I want a really well-performing phone. So he thinks I think he thinks that the 730 probably won't be good enough for me. He thinks because it's not stock Android, this A71 won't do it for me. And Grant might not be wrong. He might have a point, but we'll see when I play around with it. So yeah, Grant was saying, knowing Jerome, he's a stock Android guy. Hopkins says Google is the Nintendo of smartphones. I hear you. Sorry guys, I'm like trying to read and talk, and just there's a lot. I'm not gonna be able to get through everything, guys, so I'm sorry. And Ronaldo with a $2.99 super chat. Ronaldo, thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for going that extra step and supporting me. It really does mean a lot to me. I appreciate it. I made a video on the OnePlus 5T. Check it out. Yeah, I'll check that out. Yeah, for anyone else in here too. There are a lot of people in here who do who do make other tech videos, guys. So feel free to check them out, especially like a lot of the guys who come in here daily. They come to talk tech. They want to talk shop, and there's nothing wrong with that. So please feel free to check that out. Ronaldo, thank you for the support. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Deepak says the Oppo Reno 2 has a shark fin pop-up selfie. A shark fin pop-up selfie. So is it like triangle instead of square? Is that what you're saying? I'll have to check that out. Okay, let me scroll down here, guys. Big House says, where is that Pixel deal at, Jerome? Best Buy. I think Best Buy, but I think B&H is also doing it. And there's probably a couple others. Maybe someone in chat can help you guys out too. I see Tony in here. Holy shit, I haven't seen Tony in a minute. Tony, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Nice to see you. What's up, Jerome? I think the reason why the Pixel 4a is late is because then Google has to bring the prices down on the other Pixels. I'm thinking of that. I could see that, but I guess for me, Google should just go ahead and do it. Go ahead, drop the prices down. Like why? Google makes enough money. I mean, I don't know. I don't. Here's my issue is I just don't like, oh, you said this 4 times. I think I don't know if it just didn't go through or whatever. But Tony, again, welcome to the stream. Here's the thing is if first of all, right now the Pixel 4a or the Pixel 4 at $500, okay, I'm fine with. But the Pixel 4 with 128 gigs of storage for $600, I'm not fine with. They need to bring that down 50 more bucks. It needs to be 500, 550. The Pixel 4 XL, $600, fine. But the Pixel 4 XL at 128 gigs for $700, it's that their price steps are too high right there. Okay, let me think about this real quick. Pixel 4a, $350. Pixel 4, $500. I still don't see what the problem is. Why would they have to bring that price down still? Why I think $500 is a fair price point for it. Oh, you know what it could be though, is the fact that the Pixel 4 is only 64 gigs and the Pixel 4a is 128 gigs. Well, no, I don't know. I just feel like go ahead and release it. I don't know. I hear you though. I can understand where your thinking is with that, but I'm just so tired of Google like waiting if they have it. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it is a lot to consider. There's my head is all over the place at the moment, and I love that we're talking, and I love that we're all having conversation. Yeah, I just want them to bring the phone out. Maybe it's just me being selfish and wanting them to put the phone out now. Ronaldo says the OnePlus 5T is still an amazing phone. Even in 2020 last year, it was a snappy and fast device for being 3 years old. Ronaldo, that's a great point. Not to mention the fact that like I have one of my favorite phones of all time is the OnePlus 6, the red one. That's my favorite phone. I will buy that phone again someday. I don't know when that's going to happen, but whenever I get a chance to at a decent price in good condition, I will probably buy that. But yeah, even years later, those phones still perform really well. And like Brian was saying earlier, the efficiency, the optimization, it's done so well that they can still last years down the road. Not to mention the fact, and we've brought this up before, is resale value on these phones. Out of all Android phones, it looks like OnePlus still holds their value really well compared to other Android phones that are out in the market. So yeah. Okay, let me see here. Big House is saying, yeah, the Motorola is more stock than the A71. Sorry, I'm scrolling down just to see. Deepak says, Jerome, listen to Grant. A71 will last only half an hour in your hands. Too heavy of a skin. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I still want to test it out. I'll still test the cameras out, and we'll give it a shot. I'll test it against the TCL 10 Pro and my other phones, and if anything, it's a good way to test out and give my thoughts on it. So at least I have an idea of how those phones are. And yeah, like I said before, it has a Snapdragon 730, so it gives me the opportunity to test the phone out to see what the Pixel 4a is going to be like with the Snapdragon 730. Okay, yeah, Grant's saying, yeah, or get it from the Google store. That's great. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, let me scroll down here, just make sure I don't have anything else. I have the Lava Red Edition. I will never sell that device. And yes, I also wanted a red OnePlus 6, but I'm looking for a Thunder Purple OnePlus 6T. Wait, I have a Thunder Purple OnePlus 6T. Do I have the purple one? Where is my... Oh, sorry, I'm reaching for it. Ronaldo, I haven't been using mine. I have it's all fingerprinty, but I have a purple OnePlus 6T. It's a T-Mobile version, and I haven't been using it. And it's, if I remember correctly, the phone is mint. But I don't know if you're looking for T-Mobile. Anyway, I wasn't planning on keeping it because I want to. Well, I have other ideas for other phones I'm trying to get. Grant saying, I'm just messing with you, Jerome. Definitely try the A71 for yourself. I know, man. I know. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay. We're well past the hour, really longer than I thought. So I'm not going to get through all of these stories, but what do I want to talk about here? Okay, so real quick, I'll just share this. Google's giving away a free Nest Mini to YouTube Premium subscribers, or to some of them. Only active paid members with an individual student or family plan are eligible. So if anybody wants to take advantage, if you have a YouTube Premium service, feel free to take a look at that. I'm not going to go through it. Anytime I find deals or things that are free, I want to talk about it in the stream so you guys can take advantage of it. Because why not, right? Like, make use of these free trials, free giveaways, whatever. If they come up, I want to talk about it just so you guys can, have a chance to take advantage of something there. Okay, but the last thing I want to talk about is kind of tech related, more gaming related, but I want to talk about it here. And I'm not going to go too into it either, but this article from Extreme Tech is talking about how Microsoft is saying the Xbox Series X will be the most compatible console ever. So just a disclaimer, guys, I am not the biggest gamer. I do play one game exclusively, and I have over 2,000 hours on it. I play a lot of Rocket League because I am still kind of a gaming nerd in a lot of ways, but I'm also a PC guy. I build my own PCs, I mod them, I upgrade them, and I've been doing that for years, for decades now. But when it comes to consoles, I'm more of a Xbox guy over a PlayStation guy. So please, if you're a PlayStation person, don't get mad at me. But I wanted to talk about this because they're talking about how it's going to be backwards compatible for thousands of games. And really the only game that I want to play on an Xbox, I've owned a ton of Xboxes. I've always bought them and sold them and bought them and sold them. And I kind of want to buy one again, but I don't have the funds for that right now. But the one game I've been wanting to play again is, so it's Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix. I probably got the wording mixed up on that. That was one of my favorite games that came out for the Xbox 360 when it came out. But anyway, I wonder if they're going to have that in here. But moving to a new console generation has often meant leaving some of your favorite games behind, but Microsoft says that won't be the case with the Xbox Series X. The team developing this next-gen console is testing older games to ensure they don't just work, but work better, which is great. Not only are they going to work, but they're going to actually improve on the graphics for it. While Microsoft's primary focus is on making new games that could never have run on older consoles, the Xbox Series X team has also spent more than 100,000 hours playing old titles on the console. Backwards compatibility isn't as simple as making sure you've got the right kind of disk drive. So Microsoft isn't just going to lean on faster hardware and call it a day. The advanced technology group developed several new features that will enhance the classic game experience. For example, the HDR reconstruction technique will automatically add HDR support to legacy titles, which is awesome, especially for people who are gamers. That's great to know. It'll even work on games from the original Xbox that were developed almost 20 years ago. Microsoft has touted the upcoming console's quick resume feature, which allows players to quickly return to their game from a suspended save state. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm going to ever have money for this Xbox Series X, but if I've been applying for jobs, I've been trying to I freelance. I work with multiple companies at this point, doing freelance work, trying to figure out even this, if this becomes profitable one day, that'll be great. I don't think I'm ever going to stop streaming because I love doing this and I love talking with chat. I love talking about tech. And I think I found a home doing this. I really enjoy doing it. And there's a great community and we could always talk about stuff. But if I can find work and gives me more income and gets me to do what I want to do, so be it. So anyway, just thought I'd share that. Just another story. It's not the biggest news in the world, but just thought I would share. Let me get back into chat though, and just kind of see what else you guys have to say. Let me see here. Ronaldo says, let me know, Jerome. I'll buy that from you. I'll let you know, man, because really it's just sitting here. It's not doing anything. It is the T-Mobile version. So just letting you know, it does have the T-Mobile splash screen and it has whatever T-Mobile bloatware. I know it's real light. There's not a ton on it, but if you're looking for a T-Mobile version, I'll let you. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem because I'm not using it at all. I'll take a look though at the condition and make sure that everything's up on the up and up, but I'll let you know. Deepak saying, I want to grab that McLaren OnePlus. What does that phone go for now? That must be so expensive still, isn't it? Or is it at a cheaper price? Y says, I'm back. Well, welcome back, Y. Nice to see you again. Ronaldo says, how compatible? I'm guessing it'll play all of Xbox game library. That I don't know. So it didn't say, I don't think the article said it will play the entire library, but there are certain games that I would love to play again. And if it could, then I might look into it, but we'll see. Hopkins says, I'm also Team PC and I have a PS4 Slim. So, well, Team PC, there you go. I use Steam all the time. Steam is my go-to. Plus it's free. I don't have to pay for a subscription, but yeah. Team Verizon says, and then here's me with a Switch and DS. Here's the thing. I'm a Switch person too. Well, I just recently sold my Switch because I needed money, but I had a Switch for a while and I love the Switch. I actually had that Street Fighter game that was exclusive to the Switch. I'm a Street Fighter guy. I play a lot of Street Fighter and MK. Those are my two fighting games. I've been playing Street Fighter since I was a little kid, but Rocket League is my game now. That's what I've been playing more so than anything else. Deepak says, I want to build a gaming video capable PC. Still don't know whether Intel or AMD is better these days. AMD is on the come up. If anything, Deepak, a lot of people are putting their money on AMD lately. Although some of Intel, like the latest chipset, I'm not going to get too in depth here because I know this is more of a phone thing than anything else, and I don't want to get too nerdy with talk when it comes to PC stuff. But Intel still has the most top of the line chipsets, but you're going to be paying up the ass for it. AMD has a much bang for the buck price point. So you might want to take a look at AMD if you're looking to build. If you ever want to talk about build, let me know, man. We could talk. Okay, let me scroll down here. Ronaldo says, I have T-Mobile, Jerome. Also remember, you can flash the international version on there. No, well, that's great. Good to know. Appreciate that. So Kyle, welcome. Kyle, how's it going, man? Welcome. The McLaren is still $750 on a good day. Wow, that's so expensive. Yeah, it's still expensive. Yeah, so there are a couple of you guys here who are PC guys. I have AMD Ryzen myself with a Vega 56, my best PC so far. I use it for video editing. You can use hardware encoding with dedicated GPU. I love that there are a couple tech guys in here. That's great. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Ronaldo says, I play fighting games all my life too, so I understand 100%. There you go. Kyle says, getting the Ryzen 9 3900X. Awesome, man. Awesome. Okay, guys. We're an hour and 20 in. Guys, before I close this out real quick, if you guys are just coming in, please feel free to like the video. Liking the video helps me in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find the stream. It helps get more people in the chat, talk about stuff, talk tech, have a community. And I think all of that is awesome. I love that. That's a big reason of why I do it, because it's a good way to engage, have like a community, have a family, if anything, in here. And if you're new and you're just stopping by and you're checking it out, feel free to subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, I stream daily, weekdays, not daily, but weekdays, Monday through Friday. And we talk tech for about an hour every day, and it's a great community again. And last but not least, if you guys are in here, you're seeing people with green in their names, a red Chicago star next to their name. That's because they have a badge, and that's because they are a member of my channel. And you can be a member too for as little as 99 cents a month. You can be a member of this channel. It'll give you that green next to your name. It'll give you the red Chicago star. And even if you comment on my videos, it'll have that red Chicago star in there as well. So people know you're a part of this, Phone Jerome squad, team, community, family, membership, whatever you want to call it. You will get to use custom emoji as well. You'll get your name on the intro and outro of every single one of my live streams. And at different tiers, you can have different access to stuff. It's all written there. All you got to do is click that join button, or if you can't find it, just go to youtube.com/PhoneJerome/join. And I think that's it, guys. I think we're going to leave it at that. Otherwise, what else do I have to say? There's not much else to share in here, except for the fact that I will be back. Wait, what's the day today? Is today Thursday? Yes, I'll be back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. And here's a couple of things for tomorrow. Tomorrow, just so you guys know, tomorrow, this A71, I have not opened it yet, and I will not open it yet. I will unbox it live for you guys. We'll go through it. I'll talk about it. I'll give you my thoughts. I'll compare it to my TCL 10 Pro. Hopefully I can work on my camera comparison video so I can get that out tonight. But I have another video I have to get out tonight for my other channel. So I don't know if I'm going to have the chance to. Either way, I will unbox this tomorrow. We'll talk about it. And I'll let you know if I end up buying that Xiaomi Mi 9T. There's a lot of stuff. There's always a lot of stuff to talk about. And it's weird being back in the phone game, because I'm enjoying it a lot more than I have in a while. I was out of the game for like a year, guys, because I worked in social media marketing, and I was trying to like do my own thing. And then, I have my own personal stuff, and like, I've been in such a good place lately. It's weird for you guys who have been around for a while. You guys have seen me come and go. And that's because I've been dealing with my own like personal demons. And it's weird to talk about that here, but I feel like you guys are friends and family. So it's nice. And if you guys haven't noticed, this is the most consistent I've been ever on my YouTube channel. I mean, it's been a weird road, but ever since I came back in, what was it, December, I have been consistently streaming and uploading videos, and I've been building like a community with you guys, and it's exciting. It really is. And it's so nice to be able to do this daily. And I appreciate it. So every time you guys are in here and you like and you subscribe and you comment, for people who join a membership or like super chat, like I am always so grateful. And I cannot thank you guys enough for supporting me in that way. Cause without you guys, I would still do it. I would sit here and talk to myself if I had to, because at the end of the day, I still love talking about tech, even if it's just by myself. But to know that I can have you guys in here and chat and have a community means a lot to me. And so like, it's weird because like it's that emotional part of me that makes me know I need to end the stream. So I'm going to end it there. But guys, I'll be back tomorrow. We will stream again. We'll talk about tech. Thank you guys so much. The outro is about to play, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Have a good one. Take it easy. Bye now.